Well, hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time, I took Liana here to Crypt of Hearts to see how big a difference the Curse of Vampirism does to her build. Today, I wanted to show you her subclassed build. Liana is still a Breton, still has all of her attribute points on Magicka, and still walks under the Lover boon to maximize physical and spell penetration, but she is no longer only a Warden. I have given her a skill line from the Arcanist class, namely Herald of the Tome Skill Line. Let's start with a quick look at champion points. In Warfare, my active stars are Biting Aura, Thaumaturge, Wrathful Strikes, and Untamed Aggression. In Fitness, I have my usuals: Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality. In Crafts, I have gone with Master Gatherer, Warmount, and Gifted Rider due to lack of points. Do choose the craft stars that make playing fun for you. Then, two abilities starting from our backup weapon, which is a Lightning Staff. First, Chilling Contingency, a Scribe ability. This draws runes on Liana. Casting any ability with a cost will trigger the runes, thus bringing forth an explosion that deals both instant and overtime frost damage, and grants Liana and her allies minor force, which boosts critical damage. Next, we have Gripping Shards. This is one of my favorite Warden abilities. Gripping Shards brings icicles up from the ground to pierce enemies and to deal a set amount of frost damage over 12 seconds. Enemies are also slowed down. Gripping Shards has a high probability to afflict enemies with the chill status effects, so this does feed one of our icy sets. Moving on, we have Crystallized Slap. This spins an icy shield around Liana to protect her from incoming damage. And every time this shield absorbs damage, it launches an ice bolt back at the enemy to both deal damage and stun said enemy. I love this shield, I wish each class had a similar one. Then we have Chilling Explosion. This scribed ability, which I use often, deals a set amount of frost damage both instantly and over time. This version also afflicts enemies with minor lifesteal, which heals Liana and her allies every second, as long as the effect lingers. This status effect also feeds one of our sets, we will get to that later. Last on this stuff, we have Channeled Acceleration from the Psijic skill line. This one grants Liana Major Expedition for 12 seconds and Minor Force for an entire minute. Expedition increases movement speed, while Minor Force increases critical damage. This is a fun ability, but it can be replaced with something else if you don't feel like grinding it out. Fire Rune from Mage's Guild might work well here. Our ultimate on this weapon is Swarming Scion. I really like this immersive vampire ultimate, but since vampirism isn't mandatory for this build, feel free to use your favorite. Let's switch weapons then. Our main weapon is another Lightning Staff, on which we have pretty much everything from Herald of the Tome due to passives. First, we have Escalating Rune Blades. This one launches a series of apocryphic runes at enemies. These runes deal an escalating amount of magic damage and generate crux. The last rune also deals area damage. And the more crux you have when casting this, the more damage it does. Fun. But next, we have a way to use all the hard-earned crux. Exhausting Fate Carver is a channeled ability which allows a beam of blinding light to deal a set amount of magic damage to up to 6 enemies in its path. Casting Fate Carver will consume all crux to increase its damage. Fate Carver also applies Light Snare on enemies. Moving on, we have a way to stay alive-ish. Polar Wind wraps Liana in an icy breath, which heals her and her grouped allies for a set amount both instantly and over 10 seconds. As the amount isn't that large, this might not be the best heal for a stage 4 vampire. Still, together with the lifesteal from Chilling Explosion, this is okay when tackling easier content, such as Delph bosses. Moving on, we have Fulminating Rune. This draws an explosive rune under an enemy to deal a set amount of magic damage over 20 seconds. After 6 seconds, the rune explodes to deal a set amount of frost damage to all enemies within reach. This also comes with a synergy. By activating the Rune Break synergy, allies can deal even more frost damage to enemies within reach. Last, on our main weapon, we have Recuperative Treatise. This draws runes on Liana's weapon to enhance class abilities, to deal a set amount of magic damage while striking, and to generate cracks upon casting. While slotted on either weapon, this grants you Major Brutality and Major Sorcery, which boost weapon and spell damage. This is pretty much a must for any Arcanist, subclassed or not. Our ultimate on this weapon is Northern Storm. This summons a brief storm around Liana to deal a set amount of frost damage to all enemies within reach. While the storm lingers, the damage Liana does slowly grows. Northern Storm also grants Liana and her allies minor protection, which reduces damage taken. This is a fun immersive ultimate, I just wish it was a bit more somehow. As for passives, I would recommend getting all passives from Winter's Embrace, Herald of the Tome, Destruction Staff, Light Armor, Sigil Guild and Major skill lines. You might also want to get all passives from Racial skill lines. There's only like one per character. Moving on to armor. I have given Liana 3 armor sets. First, covering both weapon slots and all jewelry slots, we have Darkest Strike. This is a craftable set from Westweald. Darkest Strike adds to weapon and spell damage. With all 5 pieces equipped, dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack grants you Major Berserk, which boosts damage done by 10%. This is a fun set. I have used Darkest Strike often and will continue to do so. Then, covering chest, waist, hands, legs and feet, we have Icy Conjurer. This set drops from Frost Vault, a DLC dungeon which is a part of the Wrathstone pack. Icy Conjurer adds to maximum magicka, weapon and spell damage and offensive penetration. With a full set on, applying a minor debuff on enemies summons an Ice Wraith to attack enemies. The Wraith deals a set amount of frost damage and can appear every 10 seconds. Our Monster Helm drops when you slay the last boss in Direfrost Keep. Shoulders can be purchased from undaunted vendors. Ice Heart adds to critical chance. With both pieces on, dealing critical damage spins a shield around Liana to both absorb and deal damage. I love this set, it's super immersive and the shield is pretty good too. I don't think Liana does enough critical damage to take full advantage of this, but we can work on that. Subclassing Liana from Warden to Wardanist gave a huge boost to her physical and spell penetration, and thus the amount of damage she can deal. It has been a fun yet uneventful adventure. Picking the Herald of the Tome Skill Line to subclass is the easy way out. Arcanists are still the top damage dealers in ESO, and now that all classes can enjoy the benefits from their superior skills, the wow factor of finding a cool combo of damage dealing abilities has kinda sort of faded a bit. It seems that in order to easily slay any enemy in sight, all you need to do is either play as an Arcanist or to subclass as one. I personally don't like it when things are so easy, and that means I probably won't subclass Herald of the Tome Skill Line again. But perhaps someday other Arcanist skill lines may rise to the occasion. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Next time, we shall take a look at Liana's appearances. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.